Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our curious viewers, Turbo Hamster 99. Thanks for the suggestion, Turbo Hamster. You asked, why do keyboards have those tiny bumps on the F and J keys? At first glance, they seem pretty random, just two little ridges hanging out on your keyboard. But if you've ever run your fingers over them absent-mindedly and thought, what's the deal with these things? You're not alone. These little bumps aren't just there for decoration or to give your fingers something to fidget with. They're actually part of a clever design trick that makes typing faster and more efficient. So, if you've ever been baffled by the mystery of the bumps, or just want to appreciate the secret genius of your keyboard, stick around as we break it all down, right here on Explaining Everything. All right, let's get straight to it. Why do these bumps exist? Well, they're landmarks for your fingers. If you've ever taken a typing class, you've heard of the home row, that magical place where your fingers are supposed to rest when you type properly. The bumps on the F and J keys help your index fingers find their way without needing to look down. Once your index fingers are in place, the rest of your fingers naturally fall into position, and boom, you're typing like a pro. Of course, in reality, most of us don't exactly type the way we were taught. Some people hunt and peck like they're defusing a bomb. Others just mash the keyboard and hope autocorrect fixes their crimes. But for the people who actually use touch typing, these bumps are a lifesaver. So, who came up with the idea of tiny keyboard nubs? Enter June E. Botich, the woman who patented this brilliant little feature in the 1970s. But before we start calling her the mother of modern typing, it's worth noting that similar ideas existed before her patent. Typewriters had different ways to help typists position their fingers correctly. Some models had raised ridges, dots, or even different-shaped keys to help people feel their way around. But Botich's design was simple, effective, and became the standard across modern keyboards. Did she wake up one day and think, you know what the world needs? Tactile landmarks for keyboards? Maybe. We may never know the full story, but what we do know is that typing without them would be way harder. This is the part that really makes people scratch their heads. Why just F and J? Why not Q and P or W and M? The reason is simple. F and J are where your index fingers naturally rest when using the standard touch typing method. Your index fingers are your keyboard's starting point. Once they're in place, all your other fingers know where to go. It's the same reason why GPS tells you where you are before giving you directions. You need a starting point before you can move efficiently. Could they have picked different letters? Sure, but then we'd have an entire generation of people using Q and P as their home row, and that's just chaos waiting to happen. Now, because the internet exists, some people have come up with wild theories about these bumps. Here are some of my favorites. 1. They're secretly mind control devices, because obviously, Big Keyboard wants us to type in a specific way. 2. They were originally tracking devices, because keyboards in the 1800s definitely had Wi-Fi. 3. They're a test to see who actually types properly, like some kind of secret society for elite typists. In reality, They're just a smart, simple feature that makes typing easier. But now that you know about them, you'll never be able to unsee them. You're welcome. Okay, so we've established their main purpose, but let's be real. These bumps are multitaskers. Here's what else they're good for. First, built-in fidget toys. Perfect for absent-mindedly tapping during boring meetings. Second, blindfolded typing. Because you never know when you'll need to win a typing challenge in total darkness. Third, a weird way to measure your keyboard's quality. Cheap keyboards have barely noticeable bumps. High-end ones, premium bumps. Fourth, emergency braille for the extremely desperate. Not exactly helpful, but hey, it's something. Now, let's imagine a world without keyboard bumps. You sit down at your computer, put your hands on the keyboard, and nothing feels right. You try typing a sentence. Half the letters are wrong. You look down, reset your fingers, try again. More mistakes. Your typing speed drops. Deadlines get missed. Your boss fires you. You end up living in the woods, communicating only through interpretive dance. Okay, maybe not that extreme, but still, without these tiny ridges, touch typing would be way harder. You'd constantly have to look down to find your place, which slows you down and increases mistakes. So yeah, those bumps? Lifesavers. So, those tiny bumps on the F and J keys aren't just there to annoy you. They're a genius little feature designed to help you type faster and more accurately. They've been helping people type efficiently for decades, and most of us don't even realize it. Next time you sit down at your keyboard, give a little nod of appreciation to those bumps. They've been working hard for you this whole time. If you enjoyed this video and are now amazed that there was a bump all along on your F and J keys, hit that like button and subscribe. Also, if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.